Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saxon Stadium on the campus of Division I, Mercyhurst University for this evening's match featuring Syracuse FC and your Erie Commodores. And now for this evening's starting lineup. First for visiting Syracuse, in goal, number 1, Shea Worth. The defenders, number 4, Jacob Munski. Number 5, Michael Lantry. Number 18, Aiden Day. Number 58, Nolan Week. The midfielders, number 9, Corey Zamano. Number 30, Saraxi Lindsay. Number 31, Alan Kasich. Number 34, Antonio Wilson. And number 59, Johan Bracke. The forward is number 20, Tajay Ellis. And now the starting lineup for your Erie Commodores. In goal, number 1, Jamie Tidaldi. The defenders, number 4, Esteban Moreira. Number 5, Ben Buckley. Number 13, Alfie Tucker. And number 22, Luis Fortucci. The midfielders, number 8, Charlie Peterson. Number 15, Harry Lee. Number 20, Frank Lovett. The forwards, number 11, Herman Onberg. Number 9, Tinashe Kasande. And number 28, Dylan Connell. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. The Commodores would like to thank all of their 2025 season sponsors, including Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Northwest Savings Bank, Presque Isle Downs and Casino, Curtsy Food Service, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie, You Pick 6, and John Russell Brewing Company. Don't forget, fans, the concession stand is open with food and drink, including beer from John Russell Brewing Company, such as Michelob Ultra and Laker Lager. Also near the entrance to the stadium, our concession tent is open as well, featuring merchandise for your Erie Commodores.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University, Division I, Mercyhurst University here. This is our first broadcast of the season. This is Jack Wynn with you for Erie Commodores Soccer, as tonight they take on Syracuse FC. It's great to be back with you for another season of Commodores Soccer. They will be in their traditional blue uniforms. Syracuse, no, it's not the orange of Syracuse University. They are in burgundy with black pants, but both teams with very legible numbers, which we appreciate. Once we get underway here, folks, we'll go through the starting lineups just to get you warmed up. It'll be Jamie Tidaldi in goal for Erie and Shea Worth in goal for Syracuse. Weather here, perfect. Overcast, nice breeze on hand, about 70 degrees. You couldn't ask for a better evening here from southeast Erie, Pennsylvania. And it is a busy campus. We'll get into that as the broadcast goes on. There's a huge soccer tournament going on behind us and to our right of younger soccer players. So lots going on and a great crowd here this evening. First 2 home games, one was an exhibition, the other was a 2-1 Commodore win in a wild game in which they scored in extra time to win it. It included Commodores had a 2-man advantage because of a couple of reds in that match, but both of those games we were befallen with cold and windy weather. Not the case here, as it is perfect, not too hot, so hopefully you don't see much cramping. But beautiful day. The wind could be a factor, although usually in this stadium, as is often the case, when that sun gets closer to going down, the wind dies down as well. Erie going right to left. We're underway from Saxon Stadium. The defenders for Syracuse, I mentioned Word is in goal. Jacob Munsky, number 4. Michael Lantry, number 5. Aiden Day, number 18. Nolan Week, number 58. You don't see a lot of 58s or 59s. Johan Bratke, number 59, is a midfielder. The other midfielders, Corey Zanamo, number 30. Siraxi Lindsay, number 31. Alan Katic, number 34. Antonio Wilson. Tajay Ellis is the lone player listed as a forward for Erie. I mentioned Jamie Tedaldi is in goal. Esteban Moreira, number 4. Ben Buckley, number 5. Alfie Tucker, number 13. There's an early opportunity. Elise Fortucci, number 22. The midfielders, 8, Charlie Peterson, he's back. Harry Lee, number 15. Frank Lovett, not sure if he's related to Lyle, number 20. And then the forwards listed for Erie, Herman Anberg, number 11. Tanashi Kitsandi, number 9. And Dylan Connell, number 28. Glad you could join us here. Glad you could join us on Facebook and on our YouTube page. There's some good player interviews on there. They did one with Dylan Danch this week, so check that out. We'll probably see him later. Ball up ahead. Let's see. I guess onside. Keeper out. Collision loose in front. And, Erie with a great chance early on. I thought maybe Kitsande was offside, but that was live. And the keeper was down for a moment, but there was just nobody else down there to punch it in, but a pretty good opportunity, and that was a great entry pass for Erie in the early going. I mentioned the wind. Well, the flag is limp right now. It's kind of hard to tell. It's coming in from the left, so that would be from the north. But it shouldn't be a huge factor. We'll give and go, looking for a cross down there. There it is, and it went through the first wave. We'll see if Erie can capitalize. That was one thing I noticed. I mentioned they had an exhibition in the Brewers Cup, they call it, with Buffalo, or a 2-1 win, and then in the exhibition game, too, a very unselfish team, which 9 times out of 10 is obviously beneficial, but sometimes when you get in front, you got to pull the trigger. Just underway here, 4th minute from Mercyhurst, no score. Doing a number of renovations on this campus here at Mercyhurst, and some electrical problems. That's why we weren't with you for the first home game. And Syracuse in the red and black. Moreira giving chase. He's got all kinds of room over on that far side. We'll see if they can get something going. Tucker with it. Boy, nice move. Goes right around Bratke, the defender. Lee plays it in. Nothing doing there. And Lindsay has it now, but it's immediately taken away. Good aggression here from Erie in the first 5+ minutes. Now, wind is working against them at the moment, but it's really more of a crosswind coming from the far side of the field that you see. Nice move. There's the cross. In front, header. Oh, it ricocheted. Boy, that was a bad break. Maybe that header was going to go left, but it was one time, and it hit somebody's foot. It may have hit a Commodores player, actually. I think it was going to drift wide, but hard to tell. But another good opportunity here in the early going for Erie. Crossbar, keeper out. Can they get a shot off? They cannot. Another golden opportunity, and that by far was the best of the three because the keeper, Wirt, was down. He had dove into his left, and there were two Commodore players, but neither could get a foot on the ball in front of an open net. Beautiful pass inside. One-time shot, score! What a great entry pass, and that is Kisande. From Lee. No.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 9, Tenashi Kisande. Assist, number 15, Harry Lee.
So just a sensational pass in and into the wind, might I add, from Lee, 15, and Ketsande powered it in. It was deflected prior to that. Somebody else was in on that assist. We'll have to check that at halftime, but really it was Lee that made that play. And to be honest, here in the early going, Syracuse is going to have to make some adjustments because we're in the 8th minute. It's already 1-0 Erie, and they could have very easily had 2 other goals already here. So great start, and again, a huge crowd here today. A lot of youngsters here. They've got free snow cones. They've got some games down there. John Melody, the owner of this team, does a great job getting all the young players out. They're all wearing, many of them anyway, wearing their team jerseys. But Erie, and you can tell in the body language, very confident ball club at the moment. And we're going to have to check at halftime 21. There was no 21 on the roster or listed as a starter. So at halftime, we'll go down and let you know who that is. There was a 22 listed. That could be it, but we'll check that for you. And they're going to get 5 Buckley with a hold there as he had his arm around Ellis. So that was the first foul of the game here in the 10th minute. Free kick coming up. This is Day. Boy, nice ball in there, headed out. That one felt like it hung in the air for quite some time, and a nice play defensively here on the near side. Good battle going on. And a throw for Erie. Boy, Connell with sensational defense there for the Commodores. Fortucci up ahead to Anberg. He goes down and still down. He hit the turf hard. He may have gotten banged up before he went down there on the contact. Looked like he's all right, but free kick coming up for Erie. Good opportunity here. Slightly better angle than a corner. Looks like it's going to be Connell over there to take it. Erie looking to put Syracuse in a hole early. They go short, and the one time. That was deflected on that entry. Mentioned that game against Buffalo where Erie came back to win it 2-1. That was a bizarre game. There was very physical. I mentioned there were two players that were, well, one was red carded, one it was 2 yellows. And I believe the coach, or one of, there's a shot. Oh, a beautiful opportunity, but it is tall as Sande was looking for his second goal here in the first 12 minutes. But Erie continuing relentless pressure on Syracuse. And now, way away from the play, we have a Commodores player down. And they're going to bring out the trainers. This is never good when it's a non-contact situation. Hopefully a cramp or something along those lines.
Once again, fans, the concession stand is open. It's attached to the outside of the hockey rink, featuring food and beverages, including beer from John Russell Brewing Company. Today, featuring Laker Lager and Mick Ultra. At the entrance to the stadium, the merchandise tent is also open. Stop by to purchase your Commodores gear.
Herman Onberg, the injured player, but he was able to walk off. Looks like he was signaling to his hamstring, so hopefully he's okay. He was able to walk off completely under his own power, so I don't know, cramp, and he's smiling down there, so hopefully we'll be able to get him back out there. Thank you. Lucas Badmadjian is into the game for Erie. He is 27, replacing Onberg with the injury. I'm going to be honest, I don't know if you're allowed. I know that you're allowed to re-enter if obviously you just run off for a little bit with an injury, if there's blood or something, and then you're down 10 men. But when you substitute like that, I'm not sure if Onberg is allowed to come back in or not. A couple of things we're going to check on at halftime for you, so that'll be one of them. And that goes out. First goal kick of the evening for either side. Glad you could join us here from Mercyhurst. It's been the home of the Commodores for a number of years now. Great facility. The turf went in about, the new turf, about 3 years ago. Looks spectacular. The new lights around that time as well. They had lights here, but it was odd. They had lights, but they weren't powerful enough to support nighttime sporting events. They could support events that started maybe like a 4 o'clock football game in the fall that got into twilight, but these ones work very well. This one up in front and coming out, I believe that's the first time Tedaldi has touched the ball. He's in that neon orange keeper outfit. That's something that you jog in at night to avoid getting hit by a bus. Looks like it could glow right in the dark. But all kinds of renovations. What happened was it wasn't, I don't think, related to any stadium work, but about 3 weeks ago they were doing other construction on a pathway, and somebody operating a piece of construction equipment hit a power line, and they lost power to the press box, and other than the lights, couldn't get any electricity. So that's why we were unable to join the broadcast, but they've gotten it all fixed up here. And another opportunity for Erie. Long ball from the top. Sails wide to the right, and that was 21. Again, going to have to check that at halftime for you. Well, DeJuan Barthley is listed on the website as 21, but I don't think that's him either. So, again, we'll get that straightened out for you at the break. So, 21 is Frank Lovett. That must have just been a typo in the program. He's listed at 20, so there you go. And a nice breeze coming into the press box here. Perfect weather. We, knock on wood, have had great weather for these games over the years. The only time I remember having any issues was actually during the COVID year. They played an exhibition game at a different park over at the Cathedral Prep Event Center on the other side of town, which in Erie is about a 15-minute drive, incidentally. And that night we had some thunderstorms and a delay, but other than that, we have had great weather for these games. And, of course, I'll say that we'll get a tornado here in about 10 minutes. Nice move by Week. Gets it over. That was a nice ball, but over there for Tucci. And it's played up. Moira. Already in the 19th minute, this game flying along. We will have extra time when it comes to it because of that injury for Erie. Nice move. Tucker. And a nice move. Keeper's out. Looking for his second goal. Played it into the middle. There was, just didn't have the angle. Casandi just didn't have the angle. And then that firing shot from the top of the box on the right side sails wide. Casandi got the keeper out. That's the third time today that Wirt has been sort of in no man's land. But Casandi just didn't have the angle to shoot, so he played it back, and nobody could get a good look at it. But that's already number 4 or 5 for Erie in terms of a golden scoring opportunity. Casandi converted one earlier, and that's where we stand. And we'll get a free kick coming up. Peterson pleading his case, but he's not going to win that argument. Commodores coming in 1-1, coming off a 3-1 loss to Cleveland SC. It was unfortunate because Erie was up a man for a period of time in that game, as I understand. I was on the road. And this season ends up over before you know it, so it's a cliche, but every game critical in terms of getting back to the postseason. '23rd minute, 1-0 Erie. They have had a number of opportunities and have totally dominated in terms of field position. This entire game essentially has been at this end, and Syracuse has had no scoring opportunities to speak of, but that doesn't mean anything. One away, but right now another chance for Erie. There's the great cross, but could not get it in the direction of the net. That was a nice ball by Connell in there, and he had two guys in front, but neither could get a good, well, they couldn't get a foot on it essentially, and it'll be a goal kick for Wirt. And no whistle. Peterson, now they're going to get a whistle. That's a second on Peterson. Throw in, first, well, not really an opportunity, but first time they've had time down here, talking about Syracuse. And this will be a throw down in that corner for Erie. Tucker with it. Great spacing here from the Commodores, much better than the last time I saw them in person 2 weeks ago in that win over Buffalo. Crisp passing. That should have been a handball. No whistle, they play on. Well, I guess it was incidental. In coming out, that was a nice play by Wirt, and they're going to get a foul on Erie down there as he went down, and it's a Commodore player that is down.
Once again, fans, the Commodores would like to thank Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Northwest Savings Bank, Presque Isle Downs and Casino, Curtsy Food Service, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie, You Pick Six, and John Russell Brewing Company. Thank you for your support throughout the 2025 campaign.
27th minute, still 1-0 Erie. Tinashe Kitsani with the lone goal. He actually could have a hat trick theoretically. He's had a couple of great opportunities down there. You could argue that Syracuse is lucky to only be down 1-0. That's a nice ball down into the corner. That was a beautiful pass by Buckley, but it'll go out for a goal kick. Chance here. Look at the speed. Splitting defenders could not quite get through. Lovett showed his outstanding speed there, but just couldn't quite get through that last wave. That one crossed in. Back the other way now. Ellis, boy, contact, no whistle. Wonder if Erie got away with one now. Ellis took a tremendous dive after the fact, but there was a little bit of contact. But Erie will take it. Peterson that time was unhappy with his own man Connell, but it will be a throw for Erie. Another chance. Here's Ellis. Ellis, nice move. Looks like Pete Maravich gets a good shot off among defenders, but it goes wide. Boy, Ellis taking it himself there. Boy, that was really well done, but just off to the left, and it'll be a goal kick. Up ahead, here's Ellis again. Ellis, a one-man wrecking crew at the moment for Syracuse. Can he win this one-on-one? He cannot, but it will be a throw-in. Moreira kicked it out, throw-in for Syracuse. 33rd minute, still 1-0 Erie, but a little bit of life here over the last few minutes from Syracuse FC. Comes into Peterson. He's been all over the place here, and he's got all kinds of room. Over to the far side now for Erie. 34th minute. Played in. Tucker over to the far side. Lee plays it in. Couldn't quite get it there. And that must have hit the end line before the keeper tracked it down. So it'll be a goal kick. No, it didn't really matter. Nice ball in front, chip goal! Oh my! That was Lovett, 21. And it's 2-0 Erie.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 21, Frank Lovett.
So Erie now in control, and boy, that's a dagger, as Bill Raftery would say, for Syracuse. As I mentioned, they've been playing a little bit better over the last 6-8 minutes or so. But Erie comes down, and love it. Patience. You love that patience. Just waited there, got a good look, and kind of chipped it up high into the back end of that net. So now Katsandi with a goal and Lovett with a goal. And in the 37th minute here from Saxon Stadium, it is 2-0 Commodores. Just for your own info, Commodores will next be home 2 weeks from today against Ambassadors FC Ohio. So if you can't make it to the game here in Erie, join us on the live stream. That's Saturday the 21st at 6 o'clock. And that is a fundraising day for the Alzheimer's Association, so hopefully you can make it. If not, you can certainly still go online and donate. And this will be a free kick, kind of a nickel dimer there, speaking of Bill Raftery. Zanamo was called for the foul, so free kick coming up. And that wind picking up again, but really more of a crosswind coming from the top left of your screen across the field. Well, it didn't seem egregious there, but a talking to from the referee. Probably going to have 3-4 minutes of extra time here, but we still got about 7 minutes of normal time, if you will. Buckley plays it over to the far side to Lovett, who just scored that goal. Boy, a beautiful ball all the way across the field. But Fortusi just couldn't get over there in time. We've seen that a few times on that first goal. Beautiful ball from about that same spot by Harry Lee that directly led to Erie's first goal. So their passing has been on point here this evening. And they lead it 2-0 here in the 39th minute. This is onside, in the middle, shot deflected, still a shot, and keeper out, net's open. Oh, he couldn't get the shot off. Keeper was out, but Erie could not get it off. Credit the defense there of Syracuse to be right in front and not allow anybody from the Commodores to pull the trigger. This could very easily be 4 or 5-0 Erie at this moment. Another little nickel dimer there, free kick coming up for Syracuse. Obviously, they would love to get just one here. I mean, they'd love to get 3, but if Syracuse could just get one here and get that thing halved by the break. This is interesting. You don't see this all that often, especially in the first half. The keeper, word is coming all the way up to take this free kick. And nothing doing. That one sailed well off to the right. And a rare opportunity for Tidaldi to touch the ball. Commodores keeper. Played in. That was another nice pass, that time from Peterson. And it's cleared away, but it's cleared right back to Lee. Erie has just dominated. It's almost like this field has been tilted to the left throughout this entire first half. So Jay Ellis had a couple of good runs, number 20 for Syracuse, but other than that, and I don't even know that he got a shot off. I'm not sure that Syracuse has a shot on goal in this first half. But other than those 2 runs that Ellis had, they have really had nothing by way of scoring opportunities. And we're going to get a corner here, I believe, for Erie. This, I believe, is the first corner of the match for either team here in the 42nd minute. Boy, beautiful high corner coming out. Nice job by the keeper, Wirt. Came out of nowhere to just bat that ball away and thwart an immediate scoring opportunity. And now Buckley has it. There's the cross headed out. There was a whistle, if you heard it during that play, but I mentioned there's other soccer games going on right adjacent to this field. You're going to get a free kick for Erie. Now in the 43rd, nearly the 44th minute. Although I guarantee you the Commodores and Syracuse players are much happier that it's soccer going on nearby than baseball, because when there's a baseball game behind us on the field, there's usually 3 or 4 foul balls that end up on the pitch. And I don't know why they don't let the players keep the balls like in the major leagues. I wouldn't give one back, but it's high school and they're on a budget. Erie looking to really take command here in the final moments of this first half, already leading 2-0. Oh, another nice play by Wirt coming out. That's 2 in a row he has made, diving out to get a hand on it. It will be a Commodores throw now. Oh, thank you. They're going to give him 2 minutes of extra time, and I think we're going to get a corner here. So we're in the 45th minute. Oh, that was a great corner, but Peterson just couldn't get the right angle on it, and it went wide to the right. Boy, Lee does a great job getting those corners high up in the air, exactly where you want them. And
2 minutes, extra time, 2 minutes.
So we're into stoppage time now. Little bit of contact there as Wilson went down. Looked like he went down in slow motion. So Syracuse trying to get something going toward the net here, as once again Wirt is going to come all the way up to take this free kick. And that's 0 for 2. The first time it went way off to the right, and that one goes all the way through, goal kick. Love it. That pass intercepted. But if time of possession was a stat in soccer like it is in football, be about 10 to 1. It'd be about 10 to 1 for Erie. Moreira's over there. I don't think they have had a shot on goal. And we've got about 40 seconds left here in this extra time. They'll give Erie a shot here, and then suspect after it's stopped, they'll blow the whistle. But the Commodores going to get a corner here, and they got to go with some tempo now. Mentioned Harry Lee does a great job to get these corners high up in the air. So my guess is they'll blow this thing dead after this opportunity. Boy, Peterson, that wasn't Peterson, excuse me, that was Moreira. Couldn't get it, and that'll do it for the first half, and a great first half for the hometown Commodores. Welcome home is right. They lead it 2-0 over Syracuse at the break. We'll be back with you in about 15 minutes. They actually, in that, reverse that order. Katsande and then Lovett with the 2 goals for Erie. And not much for Syracuse, now going right to left on your screen in the burgundy and black. Erie, process of elimination in the all blue. First corner of the evening for Syracuse, looking to get on the board here. Bodies everywhere, no whistle. Looked like Peterson and one of the Syracuse players, can't see the number, just collided with each other. Just underway here in the second half. Still perfect weather here in Erie at Mercyhurst University. Quite a rise here for Mercyhurst for their athletics. They were, this one played up. When their football program started, they were D3 back in the early 80s until the late 90s, early 2000s, they went D2. And with Gannon joined the Pennsylvania Conference. And now Division, what they used to call 1AA, in the NEC. A little bit more pep here out of Syracuse than we saw in that first half, as at least they're controlling the ball a little bit here, as we are now 3 minutes into this second half. Badmajian, that's 27. He came in after an injury. Here's the cross. Chance, it's loose in front. Another opportunity for Erie. I think they said, were they saying offside there? They may have. I couldn't quite tell. I don't think, though, they were offside, but it sounded like an early whistle. Anyway, another example. Now, Ward has been phenomenal. He's made 3 or 4 great saves just coming out and deflecting the ball away to prevent a goal, but there have been a number of times where he's been out like that, and Erie's just been unable to punch it in. They do have the 2 goals, but could be worse or better if you're coming from Erie's perspective. Lindsay plays it back into the middle. Ellis, boy, he just had 3 guys converge on him, easily taken away. That was Lee, played it up, but then it was taken away the other end by Week. And coming out and smothering it is Wirt. Commodore player down there and appears to be injured. That's Connell. He's still down, and he appears to be in some pain. Hope he's okay. Not really sure. Didn't look overly physical there, but he is not doing well at the moment. I'm not even sure where he got injured. Now he's sitting up.
Once again, fans, the Commodores would like to thank sponsors Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Northwest Savings Bank, Presque Isle Downs Casino, Curtsy Food Service, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie, U-Pick 6, and John Russell Brewing Company.
So Connell walked off under his own power. He appears to be okay. 31 is in. We will check that. Don't have a 31 at the moment. Well, he's onside. Magian. Over to the far, all kinds of room over there now. And friendly bounce that time for Syracuse goes right to Wirt. Tidaldi barely had to do anything in that first half for Erie, as the Commodores just totally controlled possession of the ball and field position. And a couple of goal kicks. There were no shots on goal. Confirmed that at halftime when I was down talking to some of the folks during the break. 54th minute, still 2-0 Erie. Nothing yet to speak of by way of scoring here in this second half. Collision after the fact. Looked like Wirt, the keeper, got hit in the face maybe. Obviously it was not intentional. Kitsande was the one that clipped him going by. It clearly wasn't on purpose. I'm not sure what they're discussing down here. No card issued. Here's Lee, leaves it. Commodores very patient today. It has certainly paid off. Little give and go. That was stopped. It's a nice play by Munski defensively. And this will be a throw. Well, he's going to fire from up there, and it's going to go way up into what is normally the hospitality area for football games. And we're going to get a substitution here coming up. It's DeJuan Barthley, 18, is going to come in for Erie. And Lovett, who had the second goal, his day is done. Still 2-0 Erie. Chance here, perhaps here. That was another nice ball. Boy, they have had some great, talking about Erie, some great entry passes. Katsande in there, nice move, but it was taken away. It was a better move on the defensive end by Aiden Day, 18. But it'll stay down at this end. Oh, that's a brilliant move. What a great job there by Esteban Herrera to turn. They couldn't get it going, though, in that direction, but a great move anyway. And right there, that sequence kind of a microcosm of the evening for Syracuse. Anytime they get something going remotely in the positive direction, it's just thwarted. Had a couple of, I wouldn't call them chances, but at least a couple of runs just at the very start of the second half. But that has been it. Credit this Commodore. Really, it's the offense keeping the defense, as using football parlance again, the offense keeping the defense off the field. That's pretty much what the Commodores have done here by controlling the ball throughout the match. Speaking of Syracuse, I learned today that we're here at Mercyhurst. The Mercyhurst Hoops team will be paying a visit to it's not called the Carrier Dome. What is it, the R&L Wireless Dome or something? JNA, what is it? A JMA Wireless Dome. Always thought it was ironic for decades that a indoor facility sponsored by the Carrier Company did not, in fact, have air conditioning. They do now after an extensive renovation. But a unique place to watch a basketball game. as they look to get things turned around. Certainly if you're watching up in Syracuse, you know Jim Boeheim long gone, and another casualty of conference realignment. Syracuse and Pitt in particular do not belong. Boston College in the ACC. West Virginia does not belong in the Big 12, but when money rules the day, history and the students go by the wayside. And now Lindsey is down. Looked like he got hit in the face. So hopefully he is okay. 61st minute, 2-0 Erie.
Once again, fans, don't forget to stop by the merchandise tent at the entrance to the stadium to purchase all of your Commodores gear, and also the concession stand remains open. Food, drinks, and beer from John Russell Brewing Company, including Laker Lager. And don't forget, Erie will next be home 2 weeks from today. That's June 21st. And that is a charity event benefiting the Alzheimer's Association. The Commodores will host Ambassadors FC Ohio. Game gets underway at 6 o'clock.
Another chance for Erie, centering shot, but it's going to go clear. One time, fires a diving stop. What a save by Wirt, diving to his left. What a strike from the top. I thought that was in the back of the net. Another spectacular save by Wirt. Not for his great work. This would be easily a 5, maybe even 6-0 game. Wow. He had a couple of those toward the end of the first half, and just a sensational save. I mean, that ball had some giddy-up to it. That thing was sizzling. It's like if you ever stand on a tee box at a PGA event, you can hear the ball sizzle on those drives off the pros' drivers. You could see that one. Man, corner, header, ricocheted out. If that one hadn't been deflected right in front of the net, I think that's Peterson. I think it would have gone in. Peterson, I don't think he even meant to head it. It was just one of those quick situations. But Peterson was just in the wrong place, and if he hadn't hit that with his head, I think it would have gone in the back left corner of the net. But it stays 2-0. And Shea Wirt keeping his squad at least nominally in this game here in the 64th minute. Boy, that you will not see a better save. He looked like Superman diving through the air. Buckley tracking it down for Erie. And obviously, it may not help Syracuse here. Well, it does help Syracuse to an extent, but if you're Erie, you know, goal differential obviously plays a factor in these standings down the line. It's only the second home game, but as I mentioned, this season, they go by in a hurry. These seasons go by. There's the cross, out, corner coming up. And once again, it will be Lee, Harry Lee. And that one kept in. Kitsande down there did a heck of a job to keep it in, and he wins it. What hustle. And I don't know, I think there's going to be a throw. But, boy, that was fantastic hustle there as it just kept rolling right along that line and never went out. And then he was able to ricochet it off of, I believe that was 59 Brodke. Peterson, they got all kinds of room here on the near side. Now they're going to hit that up. Left foot, beautiful strike. And that one just sailed high. Thought maybe for a moment that the keeper Wirt got a hand on it, but he did not, and it's a goal kick. '67th minute, still 2-0 Erie. No scoring yet in this second half. Been a very clean game, no cards issued, which is quite a cry from the mention that game against Buffalo, when we saw Buffalo have 2 players sent away. One was an immediate red, one was 2 yellows, and one of the coaches, I don't know if the head coach or not, had to go after they were jawing with the referees. It was pretty eventful, but very clean game here thus far. Nice move. There's the shot, and another job by Wirt, this time diving to his right to save a goal. That one would have been in. That was a perfect angle for us to see up here in the press box. There'll be another corner for Erie. And it looks like Lee is not going to take it this time. It's going to be 31. Right in front of that Topiary Lakers. Oh, that one went right by Moreira. I don't think he ever saw it, but he was able to track it down and get across. One-time shot, ricocheted out. That would have been beautiful. Barthley one-timed it, but there was someone in front, and it ricocheted off. And Dylan Danch into the game for Erie. Peterson, both from Erie. Peterson, his day is over. Also coming in now, 39. Landon Tarantino in for Syracuse. Dylan Danch, locally here at Cathedral Prep, actually scored the state championship winning goal 2 years ago. Plays his college ball up the road at Dieuville in Buffalo. He had an assist in their only goal in the exhibition game that was played here to start the season. And he seems to make something happen every time he's in, so let's keep an eye out. And if you were wondering, and in case you forgot, because I certainly did, Sovereignty won the Belmont Stakes, not played in Belmont Park, but at Saratoga, which is north of Albany. Beautiful place, by the way, Saratoga Springs. But they're rebuilding Belmont Park out on Long Island. It'll be back there next year, I believe. But Sovereignty wins it. They got to figure out a way to make sure that the Derby winner goes in the Preakness, because there was no hope of a Triple Crown coming into this Belmont. Here's the free kick, chipped up. Chance perhaps in front, and it's immediately cleared away. That was the best scoring opportunity that Syracuse has had all day. No. And now, a nickel dimer. Zanamo went down. And he gets helped up. He's moving around like my grandmother, and she's been dead for 20 years. Free kick coming up. Boy, oh boy, there was not a lot of contact there. Kadick will take the free kick. Played in, headed out. Boy, that was a nice move over on the far side. Weak, and he goes down, and that's going to be a corner. That's just the second corner of the evening for Syracuse. And Tarantino, who just checked in, will take it over on that far side. Well, if somehow Syracuse is able to come back in this game, you got to thank Wirt, the keeper, because he has made at least 4 just sensational saves, and we've got a player down for Syracuse.
Once again, fans, the Commodores would like to thank all of their 2025 season sponsors, including Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Northwest Savings Bank, Presque Isle Downs and Casino, Curtsy Food Service, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie, You Pick 6, and John Russell Brewing Company.
So 56, Mikhail Sokolov will come in. A lot of high numbers on this Syracuse team. Don't see that very often. The highest number for Erie is 31. Just something you don't see very often. I remember when Drew Gooden for the Cavs wore 91. Just odd. Here's the corner. Syracuse looking to get right back in this thing, but that corner never had a chance. It goes into the side of the net, and it'll be a goal kick. So Tedaldi will blast it away. Commodores again will next be home. I mentioned 2 weeks, and that game will benefit the Alzheimer's Association. Then they've got a rare Wednesday night game on the 25th of June, and then their last home game Saturday, the day after the 4th of July against rival Cleveland. Those are always fun because people in this neighborhood love to shoot off their own fireworks, so you'll be hearing those things going off throughout the match. Can't see any of them, but you can hear them. Usually what you hear are the fireworks and then the dogs barking about 2 seconds after they go off. Boy, played in. Nice give and go. Great timing, and there's the centering pass, but good job by Wirt to cover it up. Boy, that was, again, the Commodores' passing in this game has been right on target. Very crisp. And now Brocky has it. And Erie looking to get that spacing going, and they do. 75th, nearly the 76th minute, still 2-0 Commodores. And nothing doing there, goal kick. Still a game going on behind us on the other field. There's an auxiliary field to our right, so sort of you're seeing where that goal is behind it up the hill. Looks like that match is wrapped up. Usually we see some locals just hanging out on the field up there, which they're apparently not supposed to be doing, but see them up there anyway, but not at the moment. Owen Peterson getting ready, another local product, getting ready to check in for the Commodores here on the near side, 19. I'm sure he wears that in honor of Bernie Kosar. Just a perfect night weather-wise here. Nice breeze coming into the press box, about 70 degrees. Been clear all day. Free kick coming up, and now Peterson will check in. And he will replace Lee, who played very well in this game. Lee, I mentioned it, really a weapon on those corners. When you can get those corners high up in the air and you get the tip drill going. Erie almost had a couple of goals off those corners. So Lee's day is done. And now Owen Peterson out there, 19. And now Noah Hansel getting ready to check in. More local products on this team this year for Erie than in years past. When the Commodores had the women's team, they would get a lot of local players. Usually for Erie, it's been just a couple, but this year, much more of an Erie flavor, which is good to see. A great soccer city, Erie, and John Melody, the owner of this club, big part of that. And also going back, they've got a great complex here, family first. Certainly when I was growing up, they had indoor fields. Those are now hockey rinks, but tons of outdoor fields. Was the place to be in terms of soccer. They had national tournaments there. And I know there's some things going on in terms of the ownership up there. Hopefully that all gets worked out, because it is, and certainly has the potential to be and is, a first-rate facility. And not just now in terms of soccer, but all things. Cross coming up here. See if the Commodores can really put this thing to bed. That was deflected, and I believe it will be a, no, it won't be. I thought it was deflected, but no, it'll be a goal kick. Hansel now will check in. We actually saw up there, they had a stadium at that Family First venue. The light towers may still be up. I remember as a kid saw a Notre Dame Penn State women's game there. And both were ranked, I think, in the top 5. But they then closed the stadium and put an inflatable golf dome over it, driving range. And that I don't think is up there anymore. That one years ago collapsed in the snow. They may have blown it back up. I'm not 100% sure. '80th minute, 2-0 Erie out in front. They have totally controlled things, but not for lack of trying on the part of Shea Wirt, the Syracuse keeper, who has been outstanding. He has made 4 or 5 truly highlight reel saves. But Syracuse just has been unable to get anything going toward the net throughout this match. As Erie is on pace to get back into the win column after that 3-1 defeat to Cleveland last Saturday. Well, no fireworks, but I can smell somebody certainly is having a bonfire nearby. The unmistakable smell. Hopefully it's not on the turf. Corner coming up. This is Dylan Danch. He's going to take it. Low liner knocked away. Goal kick, 82nd minute. Katsani scored the first goal for Erie. And then it was Frank Lovett. And that's where we are. Both of those came in the first half. Lovett's was, I mean, both were very pretty, but Lovett showing some patience. He had it in front and then just stopped the ball on a dime, put his foot on top, and fired it in. A lot of times you'll see guys get over antsy when they have that much space and rush it. He did not. It was a great play. Katsani's goal as well. Katsani could have had a couple others, but just didn't have a great angle with the keeper sort of out. Kadick up, knocked away. In front, that shot was deflected. And now cleared out. And that's all you really need to do at the moment if you're Erie now, as we are in the 84th minute. We've had no goals, one slight stoppage for an injury. I can't imagine. They only gave him 2 at the first half. If things proceed on, I can't imagine they're going to have any more than that in terms of extra time, but we'll see. That was Barthley who played it up. And now Hansel turns, fires, tall. Goal kick. And we had a stoppage there. Not sure what that was about. Danch, boy, nice job there. I think he worked a corner out of that, and he did. That was well done over there, and it will be Danch to take the corner. Now in the 86th minute. Erie looking to get one for the governor, as they say. I heard it in an Irish song once. Maybe they don't really say. Maybe it's just that song. All the way out to Hansel, who has all kinds of room here. Battle for the ball. And Danch is down there. He comes out of it. Splits defenders. Great move. And now he goes right around his man, centering, but wasn't anyone there. Boy, that was a spectacular move by Dylan Danch. He started in that game out at Cleveland. And I mentioned in the exhibition game that was here, that didn't count in the standings, he had the assist and the lone goal for the Commodores. He was actually on the team last year, on the roster anyway, but couldn't attend practice for the first half of the season because he was still in high school. He went to Cathedral Prep here. I mentioned that team, thanks in part to a couple of the guys on this Commodores team now, won the PIAA State Championship. Barthley to the near side. Now further to the near side. Erie, again, patient. They've had great spacing, great passing. And it's been this type of attack or lack of pressure defensively coming out as Wirt. No whistle. Let's see if Erie can get a shot here. He's back in his position. There's the center. Nobody was home. 88th minute. Still 2-0 Erie. And that pass intercepted. Boy, all kinds of room right up the middle. Moreira perhaps too unselfish there, and it's going to be booted away. Now numbers back the other way for Syracuse here in the 88th minute. Boy, great job. Moreira coming back defensively. Never saw him. And he was able to just come up from behind and poke it away. That was Antonio Wilson for Syracuse. He just never saw. That's on his teammates. They've got to yell out, man on. And I don't think anybody did. We're now in the 89th minute. So once again, we'll be back on the air for you on the 21st. That's 2 weeks from today. Hope you can make it, though. Good cause benefiting the Alzheimer's Association. They're going to give them 4 minutes of extra time. So hope you can make it for that. And as I mentioned, you can certainly still go online and donate to the Alzheimer's Association. You don't have to wait for the game. You can do it right now if you'd like, although we encourage you to wait till the end of the game before you change your browser. But that will be the 21st of June and a 6 o'clock start. All the games this year, 6 p.m. starts. 90th minute now. It's still 2-0.
It'll be 4 minutes extra time. 4 minutes.
Danch, nice pass up ahead, but a little bit too far. And it will be a goal kick. So that will do it for regulation, and now we're into the first of 4 minutes of stoppage time, extra time, whatever you want to call it. The game behind us on the auxiliary field is still going on. It's actually on the baseball field and a soccer field. I hope they're wrapping up quickly because that one doesn't have lights. They might have to move it over to this one when the game's over. Although they have not needed the lights as we get closer and closer to the longest day of the year. They did have to turn them on for the last home game 2 weeks ago. Probably didn't have to, but they did. It was a nice job by Ben Buckley there against, with his back to everyone, was able to get it way down there. That one attempted for Hansel, couldn't get it to him. But Buckley with a nice job to clear it in sort of a tough angle spot. Minute 15 into stoppage time. This one out, and we're going to have a corner. And once again, it'll be Landon Tarantino to take it. Headed out. Play it up. Wirt will come out, and again, we don't really award players of the game, but Wirt would certainly be it for Syracuse. I mean, he was just diving left and right, and certainly has made this final score look respectable. Could very easily, with a different keeper, be 4 or 5 nothing. But he was outstanding today. Zedaldi, though, is going to get the shutout for Erie. He didn't have to do much. I don't know who you'd give a Player of the Game award to Erie. Probably one of the 2 goal scorers, but just an all-around phenomenal effort. Erie looking for one more here. There's the shot and the goal. And that is 31. I don't have a 31. We'll go try to figure out who that was.
Erie Commodores goal scored by number 31, Georgie Adamia.
That was Georgie Adamia that scored the capper, we suspect, for Erie. We're now at the 4-minute mark, which is what they allotted for extra time. It's a second straight game here in Erie, anyway, that the Commodores have scored in stoppage time, and that will wrap it up. 3-0. Erie takes care of Syracuse with the shutout. Once again, we'll be back with you 2 weeks from today when the Commodores host Ambassadors FC Ohio at 6 o'clock. This has been Jack Quinn. Thanks for joining us. Once again, final score, the Erie Commodores 3, Syracuse FC 0.
Final score, your Erie Commodores 3, Syracuse 0. Once again, fans, the Commodores would like to thank all of their season sponsors: Erie Insurance, Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, Northwest Savings Bank, Presque Isle Downs and Casino, Percy, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, Visit Erie.